All right, we'll start with the welcome and introductions. We'll start in the back corner here with the lady from the lighthouse. Jackie Rose from KK number 1.
Stephen Mogel of Certified Lighthouse.
Melinda Benya from the Henderson.
Hey, Government, today.
Angie Roberts from the American Space Museum.
Leah Blackmore, Courtyard Marriott in Melbourne, and representing BCA today.
Kathy Andron, Brevard Cultural Alliance.
And Michael Peacock, Chairman of Brevard Cultural Alliance.
Thank you. We'll go down here to the end and work our way around.
Hello, Luana Dewitt Brooks with the Tourism Department.
Aaron Collins, Space Coast Central.
And Wilson.
Jim Flatman.
Juliet Mosconi, City of Palm Bay.
Peter Grant with the Office of Tourism.
Andrea Young, City West Palmer.
Deborah Webster, Office of Tourism.
Stephen Heron, Titusville Playhouse.
Mariah Castro, Youth for Blessing. Elsie De Silva, Office of Tourism.
Thank you. Can I get a? Oh, for the persons online, will you please introduce yourself?
Hi, can you hear me? This is Donna Kayer with the Museum of Dinosaurs and Ancient Cultures in Cocoa Beach.
Marilyn Grigsby, Space Coast Art Festival.
David Schillhammer, Brevard Symphony.
Arshanta Wright. I'm from the Harry T. and Harriet B. Moore Memorial Park and Museum.
And this is Martha Passaro with the Native Heritage Gathering.
Hi, I'm Connor. I'm with Space Coast Pride.
Angela Essing, Office of Tourism.
Corinne Braden, Field Manor.
We have a few more.
Bandits around here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you for being, oh, by the way, what happened to the theme? Is he up for one?
He said tummy problems.
All right, there's a few others. I see an Anita.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Everyone has introduced themselves. We have quite a crowd out there. Okay, all right. Can I get a motion and a second for approval of the agenda?
Stephen Heron makes a motion to approve the agenda as written.
All right, motion, Mr. Herron.
Aaron Collins will second that.
Second, Aaron Collins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Motion carried. Any board members, if you have any conflicts of interest with the agenda item and or any business relationships between the board, please disclose now. Okay. And may we have approval of the cultural committee minutes from May 4th. We'll need a motion and a second. So moved. Juliet Mosconi motion.
Aaron a second.
And Steve Heron second. All right, thank you very much. And we'll go on. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. That is lovely. The motion. All right, we'll move down to the 2023-24 Cultural Support Grant Program. That's going to be Deborah. Funding.
Order.
No, we're going with the funding request, the cultural, the
Brevard Cultural Alliance
Alliance.
presentation.
Yes, thank you.
Item number 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I will try to be brief, but I do want to, especially for the benefit of the newer committee members, kind of try to paint a somewhat comprehensive portrait of Brevard Cultural Alliance and our work. The Brevard Cultural Alliance is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We were founded in 1975, so we've been around for quite some time. We are the designated local arts agency for Brevard by the Brevard County Board of County Commissioners. We are the only organization in the county that serves and supports the entire arts and cultural sector. All artistic disciplines, all sizes, large, small, and in between. We serve cultural organizations, artists, and students in Brevard Public Schools and promote cultural tourism. We maintain on our website the go-to cultural calendar for the county and beyond. It lists upcoming events and serves as a resource for residents and visitors. We not only list their upcoming events for the cultural groups, we also promote their events with a weekly e-newsletter and through social media platforms. Now, to support the work of the cultural groups in collaboration with our colleagues at the Space Coast Office of Tourism, namely Deborah, BCA assists in administering the Cultural Support Grant Program. And as you well know, for fiscal 23, 22 cultural groups were awarded grants totaling $340,000. BCA also commissions economic impact studies. These studies are an important piece of work to validate the positive economic contributions of Brevard's arts and cultural sector. Our last study in 2022 found that arts and culture contributes over $122.7 million annually in total sales and $65.1 million to Brevard's GDP, otherwise known as gross domestic product, and support 1,541 full and part-time jobs. And we also serve artists. One of the primary ways is through our Art in Public Places temporary exhibition program. We have about 25 locations throughout the county that host changing exhibitions, such as Melbourne Orlando International Airport. We're responsible for that artwork. Lexus of Melbourne, Dixie Crossroads Restaurant, and many more that you would readily recognize. This is a highly visible way to showcase and support the work of about 275 participating artists each year. At any given time, approximately 450 pieces of artwork are on display through the program throughout the county. The artwork is for sale and it sells. Last year, we sold a record over $27,000 in artwork. BCA handles the transaction and the artist gets a check. Works great. And how do we serve Brevard students? Through our Next Generation Artist Residencies program during the completed school year, just over 1,500 students received direct instruction from a professional artist. We were able to implement 14 artist residencies at 14 different schools countywide in a variety of artist disciplines. And the schools do not have to pay for the residency. And we provide all materials and pay the artist instructors. And we also serve our cultural groups and artists through our cultural summits. BCA presented our 4th day-long cultural summit on October 6th last year. Oh, I'm sorry. Getting behind on my cues. Okay, that's good. And one more. Okay, great. Sorry. And then one more. In the morning, so it's a day-long summit, and it was last year at the Holiday Inn Viera. In the morning and the afternoon, we offer skill building sessions and workshops for cultural organizations, artists, and individuals from the creative industry on topics such as marketing, social media, audience development, and diversity. We also have a sit-down luncheon with a keynote speaker. More recently, in May, BCA presented our Wild About the Arts event. That back one. That's it. At the Brevard Zoo in the Niami Lodge. It was a great success, and we had about 135 attendees. And also, earlier this year, we hosted an open house and ribbon cutting in our new offices with over 200 attendees. So we're really making a conscious effort to expand our outreach and profile within the community. We help promote Brevard as a cultural destination, which enhances our tourism industry and in turn contributes to our economy. Studies consistently show that tourists that attend cultural events stay longer and spend more money. This was actually one of our cultural summits, and just as kind of a novelty, I selected this picture because the gentleman dressed in white is actually Duran. What's his name?
Simon LeBon.
Simon LeBon. Sorry, it just flew out of my head. Believe me, yeah, that was a lot. So that doesn't happen all the time. So Simon LeBon was our keynote speaker in 2019. So I'm sorry, where were we? In short, we enhance and promote the cultural vitality of the Space Coast. Funding from the TDC is of critical importance to BCA. In order to accomplish our work, it takes funding. Historically, TDC funding has supported BCA operations as opposed to programmatic support. So today, we are here to request your continued generous support. Are there any questions before I introduce our board here? Okay, thank you very much for your time and consideration. And this is Michael Peacock with Turner Peacock Abergel, our current board chair.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having us. I will be brief as well. Kathy did a great job in a presentation on what we've been doing and where we've been. I'm going to give you a brief presentation on what our plans are going forward. In addition to everything we've already done, we will continue to do everything that Kathy already said, but we have plans to do more for the local arts agency, local artists. One of the things we're going to be doing is probably at the King Center. We are still in discussion with the King Center, but hosting a big artist and cultural spotlight and showcase. So every artist, arts organization can be represented. So people in the community can come, talk to the organizations, talk to the artists. Those organizations can talk to the community about what they do, what their plans are, try to interact one-on-one, face-to-face with people that they normally would in the community to try to get them to come to their events. So we are going to support that with them. We also have a new space, and if you haven't been to the new space, come on by, see the new space. We are going to try to do more to use that new space. Possibly have book readings, small art gathering, small guest speakers and lectures for the artists and the cultural organizations to learn from other artists and cultural organizations from maybe out of town, or helping with somebody who did something in our community that needs help with somebody else. We can have those in our space. So we're looking forward to doing more on a small scale, but have a big impact on these individual artists and the organization. As Kathy said, funding from this group is a key factor and very important for our mission and what we do. This year, our fiscal budget was $204,000. We are asking for a 4% increase. That is an increase that would give the budget of $212,160. So that is what we're going for, that 4%. I think in the economy we have is still way below inflation, but that will go a long way in helping us implement these new things that we are planning to do with our new space. Again, I want to thank you very much for your time. Any questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. This is an action. Do we have anyone that will bring us from?
Share, the 3% over the current, contract would be how much?
610, 120. And then I think it's default. Default. It's 4%.
4%.
So we have in the budget for the 3% at 210, 120 to 3%.
Yeah, so Madam Chair, just review budget with you, what's been submitted. Obviously this is pending board approval. But what's been submitted is a $1.757 million budget. Currently, there is an allocation of $400,000 for the cultural support grant. I think we'll end up being a little higher than that if we see the item to come. And then we have $150,000 that just got approved by the board for cultural, for major event grants. And then we have budgeted 210 for BCA. But we had remaining funds after those allocations of 1.044 million. So yes, there's plenty of dollars in the fund to cover if we do 212 or something in that range.
All right, so that's stick with the 210 that's already in the budget, or go with 212, 4% that they just passed for.
Can I ask the question?
Yeah.
How much money what's the percentage increase that we made from the year to year, last year to this year? What was it more than 4%?
You're talking about revenue?
Yeah.
Yes. So last year's budget was just under 1.024 million. And so we're, well above the 4%. It's like 20-something%.
So 4% is like a drop in the bucket. I mean, we could go 5 or 6% or ask if we wanted to. With ease, I'm sure. I mean, I'm all for the 4%, but I look at what the overall budget is for the TDC, and why doesn't cultural have the opportunity to take advantage of that increase as well?
Well, we did that with the cultural grants last year, and it didn't get passed on.
Well, I know. Well, I know, and I realize.
Let's not do that again.
Yes.
Yeah, I realize that. I'm just stating that, but no, I'm all
Is
for the
the
4%.
is the commission vote majority 3-2?
It is.
I don't want to.
But I don't, if county staff is getting 3% COLA or 3% raise and we go above that, I think the county has to be sensitive.
No, I understand that, but according to the paper, I think they're getting 5%. Isn't the county getting a 5% increase?
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, staff is
Yeah.
getting 5% starting October 1. So for us to ask 4%, to me, that's, very simple, but, I'm just saying, and I understand that the county commission is totally against,
No.
but I'm just pointing that out.
And that's the question, to go with the 210, 120, that's in the budget, or Mr. Peacock, would you repeat that 212? What was the?
Yes, ma'am. It's $212,160.
All right, so the 210, 120 or 212, 160 is what the board, what they want to approve.
Well, I mean, if no one's going to make a motion, I mean, I'll make a motion that we do the 4%. I just want to say that I think it's great that the BCA, that the group is looking at doing more social events at their new location and getting more in tune with people in the arts world or whatever. And, I know that they'll need money for that. So I thought that was a very good move on their part. But if I can make the motion. So I'd like,
we have others that want to make
Yeah.
a comment as well.
okay, yeah,
So
sure.
Go ahead and
Okay.
make the motion. We'll get a second and then we can discuss it.
All right, I'll make the motion that we do the 4%,
The 212,
the
160.
212, unless somebody wants
second
to
that.
say.
You want to second that with comment?
No comment. I agree with what Bonnie just said.
Any other comment? All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor of going with the 4% of the 212, 160, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Next item. Okay, now we will jump over to the health support grant.
Okay, moving right along, we are gonna go into the fiscal year 23-24 cultural support grant program review, rankings, and recommendations. So if you look at your place, there's a giant Excel spreadsheet. And this has all the applications on it with all the different scores. If we just want to take a look, I'll just introduce you to the document. So far left column is the project number, so I assign a number to every application as they come in, so that's not very important at this moment. The applicants' names, the judges are across the top, there's 9 judges. Then the total points earned is all depending upon how many people scored. In most cases, it's 9, in some cases, it's 8. That number, then the average, depending upon how many people scored, and then the trimmed mean average is take away the lowest number and take away the highest number, and that is that number right there. That's the number that needs to be minimum 80 to be funded. And then the ranking of the scores, and then the funding, and then the out of county number all the way to the right. So just an overall, we received 29 applications this year. 26 applications were deemed eligible. And those were scored by the committee. There were, my microphone just went out. There were a few, as you can see, that were highlighted in yellow. There's 5 applications that committee members had conflicts with, so they did not score those. And then the sort of very shaded green, each line will have a high score and a low score that was taken out. So this year's #1 ranked for the application was Titusville Playhouse with a trim mean of 96.50. And so that's what I had for you.
Wow.
So you can start discussion.
Everyone having an opportunity to look at your score sheet? They always throw out the high and out the low. This is what we have left. Yes.
Yes, just a question. So it looks like the Cocoa Beach Art Show, which is because we have to have an 80, right? You have to have an 80%, correct?
Yes.
Okay. They were just below.
Did very well. Anyone have any comments they want to make about any of these grants? Any of the applications?
What does OOC mean? What does that mean?
Out of county.
Oh, out of county, I'm sorry.
Yes, the number of people that brought in. I asked that same question.
Yeah. Sorry, thank you. Yeah,
Sorry. Anyone else wondering what OOC is? That's out of
Yeah.
county residents that we brought in.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that it was fun scoring these. I love scoring these. Sometimes they just they make the applicants with an absolute pleasure to score. We worked so hard on it. I was so enthused that the day that I did the form for Aaron Collins, I did his, and I was so enthused that I went online and I went to his performance that night. We absolutely loved it. My husband loved it as well. And then I did the I did the Henniker Center, and I've never been to the Henniker Center, and I was so impressed with theirs that I have tickets for September. So,
There you go.
just, and I did yours as well, and it was fun. This is the most fun I think I have all year. I need to get out more, I know. All right,
Chair, I was gonna say, this process this year was really great.
Yes.
The Dropbox, apps, applications in it was so much better than the Wise Life, back and forth. That was so much better this year. So thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I wanted to come into it. We're easy to score. We do it this way. So I hope we can continue doing that.
And I'm an old man, so I love having the paper in front of me.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm the same way. And the other thing, Deborah, thank you, because this was so easy to do. And I want to compliment everybody that made the presentations on paper, that when I read it, it was done so well. This did not look like somebody doing it for the first time. Even some people that maybe were the second year, they were fabulous. So, I mean, reading it they did a great job. So
Yes.
my compliments to them.
There's one here, it was their first time, and I was really impressed.
Yeah, I was questioning Green Gables. Was that their first time?
Oh, no.
Okay, because boy, they really did a great job. They did an excellent job. They were all good.
Yes. All right. So this is pretty simple. Can we get a motion?
Okay.
So Madam Chair, If we could let Deborah kind of walk the committee through, because there are five, am I right? Five of the scoring that individuals on this committee will have to recuse themselves from the vote. So we're going to start with doing those five individually, and then we can do the rest as an aggregate, but just to make sure that we follow proper procedure.
We're
Madam Chair.
gonna do this correctly the first time. Okay, so I'd like to go ahead and let's go ahead and vote on the city of Palm Bay.
All right, we'll do that individually then. All right, can I get a motion in a second for the approval of the city of Palm Bay?
One moment, please. Let me just state for the record. I'm Juliet Mosconi from the city of Palm Bay. I'll be recusing myself from the vote for this application due to a conflict of interest, and I did not score this application either.
Thank you, Julia.
Jim Flappin, I move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion
Bonnie
Jim
King.
Plattman, second Bonnie King. All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Next.
Okay, second is Cocoa Village Playhouse.
And I need to need to take a statement on that I, Bonnie King, have to recuse myself as well with the Cocoa Village Playhouse due to a conflict of interest. So I did not score the Cocoa Village Playhouse application.
Thank you. And can I get a motion in a second for Cocoa Village Playhouse?
I'm gonna make a motion to accept it as scored.
I'll second.
Dave Heron motion, second Aaron Collins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion carries. Thank you. Next one.
Space Coast Symphony Orchestra.
I wrote this original statement. Aaron Collins will be recusing himself from the vote on the Space Coast Symphony Orchestra due to conflict of interest. Also, I did not score the SCSO application.
And I make a motion that we approve that.
Motion by King, second. Second Juliet Mosconi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Motion carried.
And Titusville Playhouse.
I have a statement as well. Very original. Stephen Heron here. I will be recusing myself from the vote on Titusville Playhouse due to conflict of interest. Also, I did not score the Titusville Playhouse application.
Thank you, Steve. Motion.
I'll make the motion. Bonnie King.
Second.
Motion by King, second Jim Plattman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried.
And the US Space Walk of Fame.
And Bonnie King has to recuse herself from that vote on the United States Space Walk of Fame due to a conflict of interest. And I did not score the US Space Walk of Fame.
Thank you, Bonnie. Can we get a motion?
Heron makes a motion.
Motion, Steve Heron, second. Castro, second. Second. I'm sorry. Yes, Castro, second. This keeps going. No, I'm sorry. Castro, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Motion carried. All right.
And so for the remaining 21 applications.
Can we get a motion?
All are eligible.
21.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Jim Plattman, second.
Bonnie King will second.
Bonnie King, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. And those opposed? All right, thank you. Motion carried. All right, all are through. Okay, well, that was easy.
Well done.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, well done.
Don't prepare.
Can we hear from Kathy Johnson again? Update?
Thank you, ma'am, but I have no further update at this time.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question before we move on? With the comments and scoring, when does that become available to the various groups? What's the process?
Yes, so great question. They are actually all done.
Okay,
So what's going to happen next is these recommendations will go to the TDC, which is next Wednesday, the 26th. And then it is going to go to the Board of County Commissioners on August 8th. And then my plan is on probably the 9th, I will email out those documents that are already done to all the applicants. So it has all the scores and then all the comments that you all left.
wonderful. And then for groups that want one-on-one feedback or meetings of how they can improve their grants, do they have that opportunity as well in the future?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
And Kathy is continuing on with her open office hours for support on Thursdays. from 1 to 4. Right now, the major event grant program is still happening. That application's open. So, but anyone who, gets this document and wants, to reflect on it while it's still fresh in their mind, now's the perfect time.
But I'm happy to schedule a meeting anytime.
Okay, any other questions before we move on to public comment? All right, then, public comment, Angie Roberts.
I just wanted to.
Can you come up to the microphone?
Microphones. I just wanted to thank everyone for their generosity and the way that you support the different events and the different groups that work within the county. It is so encouraging to us, the support that you offer year round, especially Kathy, who contacts us about different things that are happening, and it's a lot of good encouragement. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This was Angie Roberts from the American Space Museum. Okay, what comment? That was it. Oh, anyone online? Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Anyone online before we adjourn? Any comments for anyone online? No. Okay, I'm not hearing anyone. I don't see any hands up. I look at microphones for Katie. Can you hear me online?
I'm here. I can hear you guys.
Okay,
I'm at the museum.
Is there anyone
Thank you all for
online?
all your time. We so appreciate the process. It gets better and better every year. So thank you.
Yes, it does. Thank you for all of the hard work that goes into the applicants making up the application. Anyone online before we adjourn, want to make a comment before we, all right?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay, wait, we're written. Are you the dinosaur movie?
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Well, that was, all right, motion to adjourn. There are no comments. So moved. All right. Juliet.
Second.
All right, thank you, Juliet and Jim. I don't know that. Thank you.